KahnawakeTV. My name is Ratsénhaienhs Paul Rice, and this is my first edition of the Ratsénhaienhs report. And today I'll be presenting to you an update on the first couple of months here in Council, including some file updates for my portfolios and some general updates from the Council table. So as part of my election platform and my campaign, I was seeking the economic development as well as the administrative affairs portfolio, and as part of the portfolio allocations, I've been assigned as lead portfolio chief for both economic development and administrative affairs. Joining me on the economic development portfolio is Ratitsénhaienhs Delil, Ryan Montour, as well as Jeffrey Daibo. And then on the administrative affairs portfolio, I'm joined by Tanya Perron as well as Melanie Morrison. Other portfolios that I'll be supporting on is the infrastructure, transport, and operations, and the lead is Arnold Boyer. I'll also be supporting on the heritage portfolio, and the lead for that is Melanie Morrison, as well as supporting on regulatory boards and commissions, and the lead there is Delil. And finally, I will be supporting lead portfolio chief David Daibo on the lands portfolio. So very quickly, beginning with administrative affairs. So part of my objective in running for council was to improve the relationship between the administration as well as the council table. In particular, I wanted to make sure that a lot of the surpluses that are being generated by the MCK through own source revenue are starting to make their way into new programs and policies to benefit as many community members as possible. For the last couple of years, the MCK has been generating pretty significant surpluses. There's over $160 million of cash on the balance sheet for the MCK, and in the last couple of years they've generated over $20 million in surplus, and we've already started to put some work together to develop new program and policy to ensure that that money is invested back into the community and not simply held in a bank account earning 5% return. And some of those items, we're looking at the donation policy for the Finance, Administration, and Operations Committee, which is a subcommittee of Chief and Council who oversees the administration. And then we'll also be looking at, actually I just received the most recent policy, reactivating what was referred to as the Community Initiatives Fund, which is designed to inject dollars directly into grassroots initiatives. And there's over $2 million appropriated to that fund. So we'll be redesigning the policy and the procedure to make sure that that'll be launched in 2025 to allow for grassroots organizations and members of the community to apply. On to economic development. So I was pleased to see on the political priorities that revenue generation, financial and economic independence, which is also a big key to my platform, are also identified as political priorities. And really it all comes down to, if we want to accomplish the other political priorities in terms of the senior land, in terms of investing money into quality of life and accomplishing our goals when it comes to external governments, ultimately we need to make sure that we're generating enough revenue so that we can make our own decisions and control our own future and not be overly reliant on external government funding. So to that end, we are examining a number of different economic development opportunities. I know that the cannabis industry is about to take off here in the community, and that'll generate substantial revenue, not just for the council, but also for the business sector, and that'll also generate employment and new types of jobs in the industry as well. Of course, there's also gaming. Gaming revenue has, for a long time, been a significant contributor to this community. More recently, land-based revenue from EGDs is almost over $20 million plus a year, which is pretty much the main reason why we've been able to run surpluses in the last couple of years. And of course, from an online gaming perspective, we have just dissolved our partnership with Entain and Mohawk Online, which was doing very well for a long period of time until legislative changes came into the province of Ontario. And now we'll be looking at re-entering the online gaming market and looking to increase revenue there as well. We're also in the process of reinvesting into Ratsénhaienhs and Economic Development Commission so that they're able to expand their mandate and better support local business and workforce development. Now, in terms of the other portfolios, heritage portfolio, my main role is to ensure that the new language and culture theater building is fully financed. There's about a $8 to $10 million gap remaining in terms of the financing of the construction, and I intend to make sure that it's fully financed by the time the building is fully constructed, and that's how I'll be supporting Melanie on heritage. Comes to lands, I'll be renegotiating third-party agreements, so that will include some of the rail agreements, some other leases that have historically have not paid this community its fair share and that were done decades ago. And I'll also be working on commercial land development as well. When it comes to infrastructure, transport, and operations, similar to lands, I'll be renegotiating a number of agreements. If you look at all the infrastructure that crisscrosses the territory, the number one thing, of course, is the highways that go through the territory, critical to the economy of Quebec, very similar to the railway. And it's been far too long that we've let those agreements sit without renegotiating them, and I intend to leverage our position in order to generate significant revenue for this community. And then finally, when it comes to regulatory boards and commissions, that includes gaming, that includes alcohol, beverage, and control, that includes cannabis, as well as Athletics Commission. So these are all regulatory boards that historically have not received significant investment in order for them to execute their mandates. A lot of the members on the board are volunteer. And when you think about the tremendous amount of revenue that comes in from gaming and that will come in from cannabis and the number of permits that are out there for alcohol, I think it's really important that we properly invest and make sure that our regulatory boards and commissions receive the funding that they need and the training that they need and are able to properly regulate these industries in the community, not only from a safety and security perspective, but they also generate substantial revenue. And so we want to be able to properly regulate that as well. So for me, this is my first report. I've definitely been on the radio a few times. We've reinitiated a press scrum. I've been in contact with media, and I'm available on my cell number, 514-244-2240, or you can email me at paul.rice@mck.ca, or you can just call the council office at any time if you'd like to reach out to me. So, Nyawagoa, and I hope to see you around the community.